for this, and I'm just realizing it. After the competition had ended and I got done cramping, I did something that I regretted, but I did not regret. Right after the competition, maybe 45 minutes after the competition, Mike and Tammy Gardner, people that I was looking forward to meeting that came down to support me, they actually provided me with all of my peppers. 99% of my peppers I used to train for this were all Ian Gardner peppers. Mike and Tammy came down. They brought Chris Miller. I got to meet Chris Miller. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to shuffle through this and remember everything that happened. There was just so much that happened. Chris came down to support us. Miller Time, check him out on YouTube. Ian Gardner, check them out. Check them out on Etsy. Amazing products, amazing peppers. They came down, and they came down with a tiny jar, yay big, and it had pepper D in it. Now, when we started talking about they were going to bring it down, I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to try it if you let me. And they're like, oh, we'll bring it out, we'll see if we can, some people want to try it, we'll determine that, yeah, we'll show it up. So I got done with the contest, and I'm standing outside smoking a cigarette. I'm like, so am I going to get to try pepper D, or like, they conversated, like, sure, yeah, we trust you. And I'm like, that means a lot. Now, pepper D, if nobody is aware of it, pepper D is going to soon be recorded as the hottest pepper in the world. This thing is nasty looking. It is like a mixture of a lime green and a frog toad green, and it just has boils and spikes all over it. This thing looks like it would be shown in a horror movie, and even just the smell of the wax when they opened the container, it was just... So they decided that they would let me try it. Now, I can't recall if they said that someone had tried the full one yet or not. I know someone tried the placenta. I know someone tried the piece of it. Someone tried half of it. They told me that I was the first person to try the whole pepper D. Now, I'm not just talking this up because I like Mike and Tammy. This is my honest and truthful opinion on pepper D. My initial flavor, not burn, nothing to do with burn, my initial taste. When you first bite into something, you get your first reaction. Some peppers are sweet. Some peppers are sour. What's going on here? Show on stream. Am I back now? There we go. All right. Am I good? YouTube, am I good? Can you see me? Am I good? Am I good? Am I good? Give me the thumbs up. YouTube, am I good now? Am I good? Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? YouTubers, okay, you're good. Anyways, so I put the whole pepper in my mouth and started chewing. This thing had the first time I've ever tasted a pepper anywhere near this. It was just ungodly. Like, there were so many different flavors, and none of them were good. Now, that's not a bad thing. Not all peppers should taste good, especially if you're trying to hurt people. Taste is part of the hurt factor. Okay, yeah, so the bite, the taste was awful. The smell was just as bad. It was bitter. It had such an interesting, heavy floral mixture with dirt and grime. It literally smelled like if you were to, let's say this way, vacuum up swamp water and let it sit stagnant for 2 days. We'll go with that. And again, I love the fact that it did that, because when you're baking a pepper that's supposed to hurt people, you want the smell to make their stomach turn. You want them to be afraid of it, and not even having to bite into it and the smell. That is epic on my watch. So back at the taste, Mike made a good point. It tastes like motor oil. When I bit into it, I chewed it, and I got all the deliciousness in my mouth, and I was chewing it. I'm like, I'm like, oh. I was getting like a mixture of Dawn dish detergent and soft hands hand wash at the same time. Like, I was swishing that around in my mouth, and it was not pleasant. Then I swallowed it. I probably chewed this thing for a good 2 minutes, because it was just like trying to swallow it was impossible. Swallow that bad boy down. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and I'm like, there's a little bit of a tingle going on here. And I'm like, again, guys, anybody that's watching this, I just got done eating dozens of peppers and Scoville sliders, so my taste buds and my senses are shot. Don't even know if there's going to be a reaction here or not. Then the burn started. It was a slow creeper, and Mike was not kidding. Yeah, so the burn went from a 0 to 1,000 and it was not a normal burn for me. My burns usually get okay, throat burns like right here. All right. Or a tongue burn, or my gums are hurt, or my cheeks. This felt like someone was holding on to the, I don't know, I can't remember what the hell it's called in the back of the uvula or whatever, and was just taking a razor blade and going, and just slicing it, and it wasn't hurt, it wasn't cutting through, but it was continuously making a small cut every time it did it. And this is from one pepper within a minute and a half after eating it. And I compared it to the pain that I felt from doing all the peppers on stage compared to this one pepper. That one pepper hurt worse than all those peppers did on that stage. It every time I swallowed, if anybody's ever had strep throat or a very bad sore throat, and every time you swallow, you kind of like cringe because it hurts and you flex, I was doing that. And I wasn't doing that the entire time I did that pepper contest. I can actually compare the burn from that one pepper to the following day's feat that I completed. And I will talk about that. I'm not going to say exactly what it was yet, because I want to do this kind of like a rollout. So Pepper D, in my mind, brought me to a 5-6 on a burn scale just by itself from the throat burn. I actually had a little bit of labored breathing going too. I didn't have labored breathing the entire competition. I got a little bit of labored breathing. I had a euphoric feeling, and then about 3 or 4 minutes after, what's up, Heat My Shorts? How you doing, bud? I had a euphoric feeling, and then about 2 or 3 minutes after that, I started getting calf cramps, and I was like, guys, I gotta go get some ice cream, because I just threw up everything I had in my stomach, and I'm not about to sit here letting this hit me hard. But by the time I got done doing that, came out, everybody was gone. So, guys, Pepper D is no joke. It's gonna hurt some people, and I'm looking forward to seeing it be official. I really am. I need to sip my drink. At this point, I crushed my personal best, which was 41. And I get to like 50, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to be good. And they're like, oh, he's going to eat the other bowl. And they're like, oh, yeah, come on. And I'm like, oh, screw it. And I'm like, and I'm starting to get serious throat burn. And this brings me back to Pepper D. It wasn't until I hit about 52, 53 peppers where I started feeling the burn in my throat that I had when I ate the Pepper D. Now, I'm not saying I had a whole mouth burn going, but the throat burn that I had going wasn't until about 45 to 50 peppers that compared to Pepper D. So I was hurting like a bastard.